In today's video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit a simple video in Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro can be used on both a Mac and a PC. Last week I showed you Final Cut Pro, which can only be used on a Mac. So if you're a PC user, Adobe Premiere Pro is for you. So let's get started. Alright, so when you open Premiere Pro, it's going to look like this. If you're using it for the first time, you're going to have to create a sequence. So we're going to go to File, New, and Sequence. And we shot our video with a DSLR, and we shot it at 20 frames per second. So it gives you a wide variety of options here on what you possibly shot your video in. So my option is digital SLR. I shot it in 1080p and then 1080 with 25 frames per second. And that's usually what you'll shoot in on a DSLR. So if you're gonna edit in Premiere Pro, you're gonna choose digital DSLR. So we're gonna choose that and then name it just sequence 1, that's fine, and press OK. So you've created your sequence right here. This is your preview screen. This is where your clips will be before you edit them and move them into what you call your timeline right here. And this is where your clips will be housed along with your sequence and anything like a title sequence that you add to your project. So I have my clips right here, so let's open them up, and I can simply drag and drop them in here, just like that. Alright, so there are my clips. So to review a clip, I would double click it and it'll pop up right up here. So right here you see the timeline, and that yellow cursor is your preview line. So I can scoot it left and right to brush through the clip faster. Alright, now we want to start by selecting the beginning of this clip and cutting it and trimming it to put it on our timeline here. So there's several buttons right here that you can use. There's the play, and what we're going to use for the mark in and mark out are these right here, or you could also use the letter I on your keyboard or the little O on your keyboard for in and for out. So let's play and see where we started our video. Obviously we can brush through this and get to the portion where we start speaking, and that's where we begin our video. So we can scrub through. Alright, right there. Right there. So we can use this button right here, the mark in, or the same effect can happen by pressing the I on your keyboard. So we'll start there. Today I'm going to go over 3 very inexpensive tools that will help enhance your video production at home. Okay, stop, and then we choose the mark out tool. So now we've trimmed it. There's a shadow around this clip right here. Now these buttons, like I showed you here, this is how you're going to get your clip, or this portion of the clip, into your timeline. This button right here is for insert, and we just click it, and here's the portion we chose. Okay. Now this line down here, this allows you to go through your timeline, but also allows you to zoom in and zoom out of your timeline. So if you select this part right here, it'll help you zoom out or zoom in. Okay. Now also, if you want to be able to see the wavelengths and the preview of your clip, you can resize this timeline. See how the cursor changes to resize it like you're resizing a column? And bring it up and you see a little preview, and this one right here in the audio, bring that down and you see the wavelengths. So those are just extra tips to know that you could see your timeline a little better and the projects that you're working with. Alright, so that's our first clip. I'm talking about the introduction of the video. And I have a second clip where I talk about the equipment that I am featuring. So I would stop right there, right before I'm about to talk about the equipment that I'm featuring. And I'm just going to press the key I on the keyboard. See how it allowed me to insert the mark in there, and then we'll play it.
The next tool I'm going to show you is this selfie ring light. I found this ring light for $9.99 at Target, and it's super easy to use. It's got this little button in the back. It'll allow you to adjust the lighting at different temperatures, and you just place it on your phone to give you better lighting while you're shooting your video.
So that's where that ended. We want to mark out or press the O on the keyboard. And then we want to add it, obviously, next to this clip. So we're going to do that by pressing the insert. And now we've added it. So it goes from one clip to the other. Okay. So now you'll probably want to add a transition to go between those two. So to find the transitions, you're going to go over here where your video projects is and see the tab that says effects. We want video transitions, and I'm just going to show you a simple one that I've shown you in the past, which is dissolve. But to show you these other ones, there's lots of different transitions that you can have, like page peel, slide left, slide right, wipe, different wipes that they could do. But for this tutorial, we're just going to keep it simple, and we're going to do the cross dissolve. Now you can just click on it, hold it down, and bring it right over here. And see how it highlights? You can't put a transition in the middle of a clip. You can only do it where it's highlighted right there. So we just let go, and it shows us that the cross dissolve is there. Let's see how that looks. We're going to press play.
At home. The next tool I'm going to show you.
Okay, that's where we wanted it. Alright, so now we toggle back to the other tab that is our video projects, and we add our closing clip. Again, when you double click the clip, it's going to show you the preview right here, and you can scrub through it just like that. Again, we press the mark in tool, and it highlights it in a light gray. And the mark out tool. Alright, and we want our video at the end of this. So we bring our scrubbing line to the end of that, and then we press insert. So now we've got our third clip.
All the products
okay, and we want to add an effect, a transition effect to that one. So let's go to effects, and we can do cross dissolve again, hold the mouse down, and drop it in that section. Now let's play.
Shooting your video. All the products I showed.
Perfect. So there goes our 3 clips all together. Now let's add some text to this. So we are going to go to the top left up here where it says title. You've got a menu bar up here. This one says title, new title. You're going to do default still. And we want it to be the same resolution as the video that we shot in the same frames per second. So we want to keep this scenario right here. You can name it title. If you're going to have a lot of titles, maybe you say, we call this one our name, because that's what it's going to be. And then when you have the closing title, you can call that the call to action or the closing title. So just so you could differentiate the two. Press OK, and it'll show up here. So with Premiere Pro, they have these different templates down here that you could use. Let's go ahead and just choose this style right there. You've got your cursors right here on the left hand side, and we're going to choose the type tool, which is the T, and we're going to place that on screen wherever it is that we're going to want our title. So we'll mark it there, and we'll give ourselves a name, Claudia Hernandez, Director of Video Services for HAR. Okay, now we want to highlight that because we're going to want to change a few of the properties. So here on the right hand side you can see the font style. We can change it to a different font if we want. We can change the color, and we can change the size. So we're going to make that a little bigger so that you can see it. If you would like to move it, right now we are still selected on the type tool. You'll have to choose the selection tool, which is the arrow. And that'll allow us to move it around if we want it on the left, on the right, wherever. Okay. Now these lines right here that are surrounding this text, those are the title safety zone lines. So if this video is being shown, whether it be on TV or a screen that is not set to the right ratio, this allows you to know that if you do too wide, they may not see. On some TVs, this may not show. So the title safety zones help you know exactly where to put the title to make sure that they're going to see it. This is also great for logos. A lot of companies like to put logos in like far corners, but the title safety zone allows you to keep it right in the middle to make sure that the title or the logo is seen properly. So we're done with that title. I'm not going to add much to it. I'm just introducing myself. So we will close. And you'll see it over here in the tab that says Video Projects. So name. And we can just add that to the top of our timeline by clicking on it and dragging it over here. And we're putting it right on top. So let's see that.
Today I'm going to go over 3 very inexpensive tools that will help enhance your video production at home.
Okay, so let's add a transition to that as well. So it can come in with a cross dissolve. So it just kind of fades in.
Today I'm going to go over 3.
Okay, and let's have it dissolve out. Great. Okay, so now at the end, we want a call to action. So we're going to go again to the top where it says title and default still. Same thing, but we're going to call this the call to action title. Press OK. And the same ideas apply. Maybe we want to switch it around and do different type of font for the end. Okay, we have the selection tool. We have to choose the type tool. So we can type, and let's put in our YouTube channel because we want people to go subscribe. You can put a phone number, you can put a website, whatever it is. And maybe let's change the font around a little bit. Let's see what we have here. Okay, and we can change the size here. And again, if we want to move it, we can choose the selection tool and we'll move it around. Let's put this one on the right hand side. All right, and then we'll close. And just as before, you should see it in the Video Projects tab. And I want that to show up towards the end. Okay, so we'll grab it and drag it, and we'll pop it in right there. I'm zooming in just like I showed you earlier because I want to see my whole timeline for now, just to see exactly where this title is. So I can scoot it over, I can bring it down, I can extend it and have it come in right around there. And we'll do the same, we'll add some cross dissolves. But we don't want it to dissolve out because we want people to see it.
While you're shooting your video. All the products I showed will be linked in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see in the coming weeks about producing video at home.
And we're done. All right, so those are the basic tools that you need to edit a video, a simple video on Premiere Pro. Just like Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro has a lot of different options when it comes to editing. There's a lot of great things that you could do, but I just wanted to show you really quickly something simple that you can edit at home and just take advantage of these great tools. So now we're going to export our video. We're going to go to the top. We're going to go to File, Export, Media. And we just want to make sure that it's in QuickTime. For us, I'm using a Mac, so I like to export in QuickTime. Some people may export in MPEG-4, but QuickTime is pretty universal. Make sure that it's in the right preset. We chose that before when we did the sequence settings. And we will just press export. And it'll start exporting. As you can see, my sequence is already starting to save right here on my desktop. And once it's done, you'll see the screen or thumbnail of yourself or whatever is included in your project pop up right here. All right, see, it changed from the logo to an image of the video. Let's double click that and check.
Today I'm going to go over 3 very inexpensive tools that will help enhance your video production at home.
All right, so it went into the second clip. Let's see if it goes into the third clip.
To give you better lighting while you're shooting your video. All the products I showed will be linked in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see in the coming weeks about producing video at home.
And there's our video, and we're done. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, or requests for future tutorials, please leave a comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tutorials that come out every week.